as Russia continues hitting cities such as Kyiv on the eastern front of the conflict, Ukraine is claiming to be gaining more ground. Arms supplies from Western countries have been a significant factor in all of this, and Ukraine's government has been pushing for air defence systems as well. This next report has more details on that.
Businesses.
More than 50 Western countries met on Wednesday to promise more weapons for Ukraine, especially air defenses, after Russia launched its most intense missile strikes since the war began. Speaking after a meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group in Brussels, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said Russia's latest attacks had laid bare Moscow's malice and cruelty.
Those assaults on targets with no military purpose again reveal the malice of Putin's war of choice. But Russia's atrocities have further united the nations of goodwill that stand with Ukraine.
Russian attacks using more than 100 missiles have killed dozens of people across Ukraine since Monday, when President Vladimir Putin ordered what he called retaliatory strikes against Ukraine for an explosion on a Crimea bridge. Air raid sirens sounded across Ukraine for a third day on Wednesday, with some reports of shelling, but no sign of a repeat of the intensive countrywide strikes of the previous 2 days. The missiles have mostly targeted civilian electricity and heating infrastructure, while some hit busy roads, parks, and tourist sites, including the center of Kyiv. Condemned by scores of countries around the world, Putin defends his invasion as a special military operation needed to ensure Russian security and protect Russian speakers in Ukraine. Since Monday's attacks, Germany has sent the first of 4 planned Iris-T air defense systems, while Washington said it would speed up delivery of a promised NASAMS air defense system.
The systems will be provided as fast as we can physically get them there. We're also going to try to provide additional munitions to the existing systems that the Ukrainian forces are using.
In addition to arms, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Wednesday that increased financial support from international donors will help end the war more quickly, asking via video at a forum of the International Monetary Fund for $38 billion to help with next year's deficit.
More assistance Ukraine gets now, the sooner will come an end to the Russian war, and the sooner the more reliably we will guarantee that such a cruel war will not spread into other countries.
As his forces have lost ground on the battlefield since September, Putin has escalated the conflict, ordering the call-up of hundreds of thousands of reservists, proclaiming the annexation of Ukrainian territory, and repeatedly threatening to use nuclear weapons to protect Russia. A senior NATO official said Wednesday a Russian nuclear strike would almost certainly provoke a physical response from Ukraine's allies and potentially from NATO.
All right, let's get some more analysis on this. And joining us live is Olena Tregub, who's Executive Director of the Independent Defence Anti-Corruption Commission, also known as NACO, and she's joining us live from Kyiv. Olena, firstly, could you just describe to us the atmosphere in the Ukrainian capital after these fresh attacks from Russia?
You know, unlike February 24, the current escalation, the recent escalation did not make people feel any fear. People feel very determined to win this war and regain all our territory since 1991. Everybody is very determined, and everybody understands that there is absolutely nothing to negotiate with Russia with, because Russia openly, President Putin on Monday openly spoke that they are targeting, for example, civilian electric grids, civilian strategic infrastructure, which is basically attack on the whole civilian population of Ukraine. Therefore, right now, Ukrainians are coherent, like consolidated and united, and they are very strong and determined.
And could you just describe for us the mission, the aim of your organization, NACO?
Sure. Our organization helps defense reforms in Ukraine. We help to strengthen our military by introducing some reforms to have a modern procurement system and so on. And Ukraine is right now very determined to move and join the Western world, to join EU, join NATO, and our organization is helping Ukraine to do it faster.
And of course, there are billions of dollars worth of Western humanitarian assistance, Western military assistance flooding into Ukraine. Are there any concerns inside the country about potential corruption, that some of that money could actually be falling into the wrong hands instead of people who are trying to defend Ukraine?
Well, surprisingly enough, for many people outside Ukraine, Ukrainian government, Ukrainian state system is very resilient and functioning well, even during full-scale invasion. So we have a lot of anti-corruption bodies, and Prosecutor General Office, NABU, they all functioning now and opening criminal investigations. We have some cases of like humanitarian aid. They are all insignificant, not some large cases, but they are being handled. They are being prosecuted, investigated. So as of now, during this hot phase of the war, I think their top leadership of the armed forces, political leadership, they are motivated, of course, to protect the country, to win the war. And we need this first and foremost weapons to defend our people and land. Therefore, there is like a very low tolerance on any corruption when it comes to our security.
All right, thank you very much for that. That was Olena Tregub joining us live from the Ukrainian capital.